KLPX.
All right, 9:29. It's the Frank Show, and our next guest is someone that we're going to be chatting with for the first time. Mm-hmm. Two things I know about this. Well, I know more than two things, but two core pillars for this guy. One, he can sing his ass off, and two, he's a super nice dude.
That's right.
It's lead singer of Kansas, Ronnie Platt. Ronnie, good morning.
Good morning, Frank. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Talking about my generation.
Where are you right now, Ronnie? Where are you calling us from?
From a beautiful suburb just west of the beautiful city of Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Very nice. What town?
Lombard. If you're familiar with the town of Lombard, I think most people are more familiar with the town of Oak Brook, and I'm right next door.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm familiar with Lake Forest because that's where I would order my supercars from, my Ferraris and stuff.
Oh,
okay. Wow. I want to know about that.
I'm kidding, Ronnie. I'm kidding. That was just, I worked at summer camp when I was in college in Lake Forest, so I know what an affluent part of Chicago it is. So first off, I want to say 3 years on, congratulations on landing the gig as lead singer of Kansas.
Thank you.
I would think someone in your position might still kind of be looking around, pinching themselves a little bit.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. You know, the last 3 years in some respects have gone by like 3 weeks. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. So tell me how Kansas knows about you. I understand you had a band prior called Shooting Star, and you had made some friends.
Yes. Shooting Star was actually back in the 80s. They were the first U.S. band signed to Virgin Records.
What?
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
That. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, a little bit before my time. I didn't join Shooting Star until 2007.
Oh, okay, right.
But how strange is this? A guy from Chicago gets into a band from Kansas.
Yeah.
And Shooting Star was originally from Lawrence, Kansas, a progressive rock band with a violin player that wasn't Kansas. How ironic is that?
And Ronnie, you and I both know that very few progressive things come out of Kansas.
You're right there. But it's really how Phil and Rich noticed me because we did a show up in Walker, Minnesota together. And Frank, I never get tired of saying this lineup. The lineup just for this day at the Moondance Festival, this was Thursday's lineup.
Yeah.
It was Shooting Star, Foghat, Kansas, Sheryl Crow, and then a band that was really trying to make a name for themselves called Journey.
I was always rooting for those guys.
I mean, they had shows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday too, but that was Thursday's lineup.
You know,
isn't that amazing? That's where Phil and Rich saw me sing, and I think took note of my big mouth.
So, Ronnie, when I hear that lineup, it sounds like a big party. But then when you throw Sheryl Crow in there, I know there's going to be a lot of beer drinking, and that's just going to up the fun even more.
Yeah, it was the sea of campers and beer kegs.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those people, they know how to party up there, and they just don't. They make a week out of it.
I love it.
God bless them.
So, Ronnie, here's something that I read, and this is when Stephen Walsh left Kansas. You get a phone call from Ronnie asking to come meet them in Atlanta. You, no wife, no kids. You're tour ready right away, Ronnie.
I'm tour ready. I do have a wife, but she's very understanding.
Okay.
I don't have kids, but it's funny. I've always had that position. I've always been ready to go.
Right.
Had I gotten the call. To give you a little background, back in, I would say, 99, 2000,
right.
I was very close to getting into Survivor. In 2004, I auditioned for Foreigner.
Wow.
then got the job in Shooting Star in 2007 and ended up in Kansas. So
Ronnie,
not a bad path to follow.
Yeah, but you did deal with a couple setbacks then. That first setback when you auditioned for Foreigner, was it you said? Or Survivor?
I auditioned for Foreigner back in 2004. The Survivor thing back in 99, 2000. I mean, that was just something that was just on the brink of happening that didn't. So,
I'm curious about that because, you could have easily said, well, it didn't work out, and guess I'll just go back to driving my truck. But you didn't let those setbacks deter you.
No, and that's always been my mindset. Sure, I'm always trying to grab something bigger and better. But
sure.
Back then, I had a very successful, cover band in Chicago, and we were doing 80 dates a year.
Wow.
So, it was just my love of playing music, no matter what capacity I was in.
When I find out, Ronnie, that your profession for many years was a truck driver, I have in my mind an image of you warming up your vocals on an almost
at the top of my lungs down the highway. Right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
There was no need for air horns on my truck. Let me tell you.
So that was it, though. You were getting all your practice in that solo time in the cab.
Hey, Martha, did you see that guy driving that truck? Oh my God!
Did you have a CB handle, Ronnie?
You know what? I did have a CB handle. Back in the day, my handle was Wings.
I love it.
Good one.
I want a CB handle. What do I?
Because my hair was so long, when I walked into the wind, my hair looked like wings. So a buddy of mine called me Wings one day, and it just stuck.
I love. That's great. Oh, can I ask him one question? Can I?
Yeah.
I want
to Christine?
ask.
Is this Christine?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Christine.
Hi, Ron. I want to ask you when Walsh retired, and then they called you and they're like, "Hey, can you meet us in Atlanta?" Right, and then they had a meeting. Am I correct on this? And then did you know what that was about? Did you know, oh man, they're going to ask me to marry him? Oh, did you get nervous? Were you excited? Did you know?
Are you kidding? I mean, being on the brink of becoming the lead singer of Kansas, I mean, club me over the head like a baby seal. I mean, pretty exciting. But Phil and Rich were, very clear about, my reason for coming down there, and they said, we already seen you sing. We know what you're like live, but we know you're a great singer. We just want to have you down, come meet you, see if you're going to fit in with the rest of the band, see if you're, really a, down-to-earth Midwestern guy like we are.
Right.
And just see if it fits. And I got to tell you, that meeting, I sat with Phil and Rich over 3 hours, of which the first not even 5 minutes was business.
Right.
The rest of the time was just us, sharing stories and laughing our butts off.
Yeah. God, that's fun.
And it was so funny walking out of there. Phil looks at me, and, Rich is about 4 or 5 steps in front of us, and Phil looks at me and he goes, kind of tongue-in-cheek, goes, well, that went good. He was like telling me, you got the job, but I got to talk to Rich. But I didn't know that at the time. And I got an email. I was in my truck the very next morning, my 18-wheeler delivering corrugated to the beautiful businesses of Chicago. And I was in my truck the very next morning. Got an email from Phil saying, "Congrats, you got the job." And
that's cool.
From start to inception was a whopping 5 days.
That's the way it works.
Wow.
Yeah. When it's right, it moves like lightning.
When you find the right person for that fit.
Right.
I agree. Oh, that's wonderful.
Ronnie, I watched a video of your very first Kansas performance of Dust in the Wind. It was at a state fair. I've forgotten which one. I'm sure you...
Oklahoma City.
That's right. And, dude, I was watching that. It's your first time performing Dust in the Wind as lead singer of Kansas. And I was...
hear my teeth chatter?
I got to tell you, watching that video on YouTube, I had an overwhelming sense of happiness for you. Come over.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And it's so good. You're just perfect. You are a perfect fit for the band. And thank you so much.
Hey, real quick, I just want to mention the reason we're talking to you is because Kansas is coming to Tucson.
Yes, we are.
At the Fox Tucson Theatre.
Oh, hey.
I'm so excited.
The Fox.
Yep. September 6th.
And that's a Leftoverture show, guys. I mean, nearly 2.5 hours of Kansas from beginning to end, and the album Leftoverture in its entirety, in sequence, the way it is on the album, beginning to end. A show you can't miss.
It says, for the first time in its 43-year history, the band is performing the hit album in its entirety.
Yep. I
love that. When a band revisits a masterpiece from the past and then, gives it their own modern-day interpretation of their work from decades ago, it's the best.
It really is.
Ronnie Platt, I'm so glad we got a chance to chat. I know we had a chat scheduled a week or two ago that didn't work out. We got our lines crossed up, but we're super happy. I'm super excited for you, and make sure you go see Kansas when they come to the Fox Theater. It's September 6th. It is the Leftoverture 40th anniversary tour of Kansas.
Yes.
Ronnie, thank you so much for chatting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good day. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.